So
Sarah, this is a difficult role in Carol. You're the confidant, which we don't quite understand the first little while in the movie. Talk about just playing that type of role.
well, it's always hard to play a person who has a sort of secret history in life that isn't something that's out on the table. But I think a lot of this movie, a lot of the performances are, it's sort of a style connected to the time period where not everything is said. We're in an age now where people say anything and everything 25 times a day on Twitter and everywhere else before they've even gotten to the end of their thought. So this is a movie that I think really, really captures the unspoken and the unsaid. And by the time you find out that Carol and I have had a romantic history, it's well into the movie. So, but it's nice to play a person with a little bit of mystery.
Well, this is a film where the three main folks, you and Cate and Rooney, a film all about women.
Yes.
What do you think about that?
I think it's really exciting. I certainly have felt like on television anyway, it's been the year of the woman for a couple years now on TV, and it just seems to be getting more and more so, which I think is very exciting. And so to be in a movie with, I think, two of the greatest actresses we have going and directed by Todd, it's sort of like I lucked out is what happened to me.
Your character, I think, especially of these three, is the most confident, most complex, I think, but also just confident in who she is.
I think that's true, and that's something I'd like to learn a little bit about from Abby. You know, I like to learn things, if I can, from the characters I play, because sometimes they're more fully realized people than I think of myself as being. So I wish I could take some of that. That's a good quality I should be taking from her.
And at one point, I don't think this is a spoiler, Rooney's character says to you, or she makes you feel like you hate her.
Yeah.
What was that scene like playing out?
That was one of the very first scenes we did in the movie, actually, and I think that's the scene where I tell her that Carol and I have had a past, isn't it? That's the scene where I say that, and
it's been implied.
It's been implied, but then that's when I actually say this is what it was, and it was, I don't know. I think it was hard to do. There is a scene that was cut out of the movie that preceded that, where we were making sandwiches for the road trip, where I basically say, if you hurt Carol, I'm going to hurt you, essentially. So I don't know why they took that out. Maybe because they didn't want people to be afraid of Abby, that she was going to actually kill Therese on the road. But that was a great fun scene to do as one of my early scenes with Rooney, and I found her to be an incredibly alive presence to work with, and so it was exciting. And I mean, nobody wants to do a scene with a person where they basically are saying, why do you hate me? Because it makes you feel immediately on the defensive. But that's okay. Abby can take it.
And working with Todd, another confident director, as I spoke to him a little while ago, just such a visual flair to everything he puts on screen.
Absolutely. And to me, I think there's a wonderful combination of it's not just beauty he's interested in putting on film. He wants to put authentic beauty on film. So it's messy. It's not always perfect. The hair is not always perfectly in place. The lipstick isn't always perfectly applied. It's he would come up to me a lot too and just mess up my hair and take my lipstick down a little bit, because he would remind me that I've been traveling on the road all this time. And sometimes you see movies that take place in the 50s and the 60s and everyone is so glamorously lit and perfect. And I know this movie is incredibly beautiful to look at, but there are imperfections in the things. And I think that's what makes it real, and I think makes you really feel like you're being a voyeur and watching something that you're not supposed to be seeing.
I think we saw that from him in Far From Heaven, and maybe he wanted to go in a different direction for the same time period.
Yes,
here.
Absolutely. This has a different feel to me of that same time period, but it tells it in a sort of different way. But yes, I know exactly what you mean. He's a master at the unsaid.
Whether TV or film, you've done a lot of period pieces where you're in another decade. What do you like about that?
I just feel like, I remember I had an acting teacher once who said, there's nothing more important than your history classes, because you're going to be playing people. If you're lucky enough to get to do this, you're going to be playing people from all different time periods and all different walks of life. And the more you know about different time periods and different experiences that people have, depending on where they live, work, grow up, who their parents were, you're going to have more of that at your disposal to draw upon when you're acting. So to me, it's my favorite kind of stuff to do, to get to go back in time or go forward in time. I haven't really done a lot of futuristic things. I've done a lot of 50s and 60s things, I actually have. I think it's because my nose turns up a little at the end, so I've decided I've got a sort of period profile.
Well, great film, great performance. Good luck with everything.
Thank you so much, Chris. I appreciate it.